everyone, and welcome to Omni Edition Garden City. I am Dan York as we continue to look at the issues that face Garden City regarding COVID-19 and the coronavirus. With us right now is the Chief of Police for the City of Garden City, Tim Gibbons. Thank you very much, Chief, for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dan.
So obviously, we spoke with Kathy Harmon and the Garden City Fire Department, and there are, of course, many things that they are doing differently. And I'm sure the same thing applies to you. You guys have had to change the entire way you operate during this crisis.
Yeah, the challenge of the police department is we still have to provide the service we provide. So our goal is to just minimize the amount of a person-to-person contact we have and to provide enough protection for our officers and for the staff to interact. So we're going to be making a lot more phone calls, speaking to people by phone. If an officer comes to your house right now, he may want to just stay outside your house and speak to you from outside the house while you remain in. Keep distance. You'll notice our officers now wearing masks in public. That's both for their protection and yours. It keeps anything they may be spreading inside, and it keeps anything you may be spreading away from them. So those are just some things you expect to see. We've just done a lot of adjusting of the way we take reports. The types of contact we have and how we handle those in-person contacts, mostly all just encouraging distancing. But that said, still full service police department. You would still call us for anything you normally would call us for. Our response times are still excellent, and we're still providing all those services. And we've been in contact with other agencies around us just in case, and we're all prepared. We have contingency plans in case one of our neighboring police departments needs officers, or we do. That we've got each other's backs. So it's been nice to see the way the communities around us, we've all come together, organized, and we have things pretty well in hand. And and the officers are adjusting well to just the new way of doing business. It's the same business we always have to do, just a little bit different, just including a whole lot more distance.
All right, so a couple of different things, a couple of different questions. One of those questions is, has there been a decrease in the volume of runs and in the volume of activity since everybody's supposed to be staying home?
There has been. Yep, there has been a decrease in the types of runs we're going on. Everything's basically adjusted, and we're just doing a lot more. As we know there's less people out and about to see crime, we've upped our presence on the street in a sense. Our guys are driving around more, checking in with businesses that are closed to make sure there's no activity going on there and that it's not being broken into or anything. Because we also see this as a prime opportunity for people who would now take advantage of a situation where there's not as many witnesses on the street to do things. So we've upped our presence there, but we've also seen, so while we've upped the work there, we've seen a decrease in the amount of calls for service. So it seems like, from watching what's going on in our city, our citizens are taking this seriously. They are staying home. They're avoiding gatherings in public places. Sure, we get the calls here and there, but people are taking this seriously as they should.
So let's talk about that, because there seems to be as many rumors as actual fact when it comes to what people are permitted to do and what they're not allowed to do. How are you guys handling that? And can you boil it down into a nutshell of what, one of the rumors going around is that you can't cut your own grass. That's not true, correct?
Correct. You can cut your own grass. You can maintain your property. In fact, even the governor herself is encouraging outdoor independent activity, but it doesn't cause you to gather in a group. Take a walk the dog. Just keep distance from people as you're doing so. Don't participate in those type of activities which require you to be close to someone outdoors. But, certainly being cooped up in the house has other health issues. So it's good to get out and take a walk. It's good to mow your lawn if you're mowing your own lawn. And not calling over people to do it and have contact with them that's close. As long as people adhere to the general principles, only leave your house to go for a walk or something that keeps you away from people. Go to the grocery store if you need to get food, but you should try and limit as many times as you go to that as well. So if everybody, the rumors don't help because it puts people on edge, but just if everybody understands the general principle is avoid close contact with people other than your immediate family. Things are a lot simpler that way. But I encourage people to go on the governor's website. She's got a pretty good stay home, stay safe, kind of what you can and can't do. It's pretty simple. Are there police patrolling trying to stop people who are out walking around to check on what their purpose is? No, we're not doing that. Certainly, if we get a call that there's a large gathering, we'll go converse with them and see if we can get them to separate. If we don't get compliance, the Attorney General's office is taking this pretty seriously, and they will prosecute if need be. And if we put up charges to them to prosecute, they will. But we'd rather just do first an educational about it, like, hey, this is what you can and can't do. By now, hopefully, people are taking the time to do that. And but it's pretty common sense stuff.
For example, in Garden City, our parks are open, but the playground equipment is closed, and there should be yellow tape around playground equipment. I'm sure kids have torn it down. I'm sure people have taken it down occasionally, and it's had to be put back up. But is that clear? The ball fields and the playground equipment, those are closed, but the park itself is open for walk at.
Correct. The walking path's open. Parts of the park are open, but yeah, playgrounds where children would be gathering and touching the same piece of equipment are now closed. And that's for obvious reasons. We know it spreads through contact with hands and to your face. It's logical that kids shouldn't be swinging on the monkey bars one after the other. So those are closed. And it's things like that. And then, I know there are other playgrounds that aren't city owned throughout town, but still please realize parents shouldn't have their kids on those pieces of equipment right now until this is passed. Those aren't, the ones that aren't maintained by the city. If you see a piece of playground equipment that's shared by other members of the community, don't use it.
Absolutely. And we talked about the fact that you're taking reports over the phone. One of the things people can do is report online for non-emergency situations. Maybe your car was broken into or something that doesn't require immediate assistance at that time. People can go to the city website, gardencitymi.org, gardencitymi.org, and on the homepage, there's a button there to click to report a crime after the fact sort of thing over the internet.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a great system. You can go right to the Garden City website to find the link to it. Report your crime. What happens then is we see it immediately. And if we have questions, we need to follow up. If any other additional things need to be done, we can do that. And or if you're trying to fill it out and you're having a little bit of trouble, call the police department non-emergency number at 734-793-1700. Get a hold of one of the officers working, that we'll walk you through it. We kind of anticipated we'd be getting more of these, so we have officers ready to, help walk people through that report process. In fact, that's the ideal way to do it right now. And if we need follow-up, we'll let you know. If we need to come out and take a picture, if it's, let's say you had your car damaged, an officer may drive by, take a picture of your car, and then contact you and speak to you that way to take the rest of the report, or speak to you from outside your house. We're doing what we always do, just differently. So, that is a great mechanism to keep doing it.
And this is for any time, but especially now, do not report things on Facebook and expect it to get to the police department. Social
Correct.
media is not the way to report a crime of any sort.
No, absolutely not. And if it's such a random thing, if you put what a crime happened on Facebook, we may or may not become aware of it. Of course, we do have a social media presence, but it's not 24/7. And we've always taken the stance as a police department. We need to know so we can address it. And Facebook isn't a way to let us know. Phone, online reporting. We even have a contact us email the city has that you can use to get a hold of us and let us know what problem. We respond to all those and record those. But Facebook just doesn't provide a good mechanism for notifying the police of something.
Have you had any problems with your guys coming in contact? Obviously, the fire department has had episodes of where they have come in contact with COVID-19 patients. No one has contracted it. They are taking some precautionary measures with some of the guys who choose not to go home because they don't want to risk spreading it to their families, since you don't have to be symptomatic to be carrying it. But have you had any episodes of your guys knowingly coming in contact with COVID-19?
We have, we've had quite a few suspected where our officers have come into contact. Thankfully, each time they were wearing protective equipment and took good precautions. And then has been now since the time they don't have any symptoms. And one actually tested negative after having contact. So we were thankful for that. We also had an officer, someone who was confirmed, had contact with them on a traffic stop. We were contacted after the fact when they found out they were positive to let the officer know. Now we're outside of that 2-week period, so he's okay as well. So we realize that's the reality. And then just recently, we've really increased our officers' mask use and protective equipment while in the public, because there's so many people are asymptomatic, it sounds like, that you don't know whether they have it or not, and you're having contact with them with no indication they may have it. So we're just basically taking steps to somewhat assume everyone may have it.
All right. Well, I want to thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to speak with us. We wish you and everyone at the Garden City Police Department the best of luck, and we wish that you all stay safe.
All right, thanks, Dan. Thanks for having me. And just to the Garden City citizens, this is something you can have control over. If we follow what we're supposed to, stay safe, stay home, wash our hands, keep socially distanced, wear masks in public, we can have a real impact on how long this impacts us and how hard it hits us. So, and from what I'm seeing from Garden City citizens, they're responding to the task quite well. So, thank you for having me, and thanks to the citizens for their support of the Garden City Police Department.
All right, and good luck to everybody. That wraps up this edition of Omni Edition Garden City. Thanks very much for watching, and good night, everybody.